All right, let's get started here. This is Can We Talk? It's on a Monday, December the 10th. Got Chris with me. The first one up is going to be got this clip on I don't know if you've seen this, Chris. Um you seen this one?
I have seen it.
Okay, just take a look. Homegirl says she made 400 no, excuse me, 4.7 million just from one guy on OnlyFans.
Spent $4.7 million on her. This is the funniest fucking shit that I've seen it.
OnlyFans model Sophie Rain claims to be a virgin after showing proof of an individual sending her nearly $5 million.
I want bad stuff like flying around my name. I don't want people thinking that I advertise to kids because that is the last thing.
You think she lying or telling the truth?
She lying.
You don't think she got four?
No, she got the 4 point something million, but not just that.
Well, I mean, still, dang,
Yeah, that's a
four
lot.
point seven million for what?
But she got a lot of competition too, so I don't know if it's gonna be that. But yeah, I want to hear
No,
exactly
no,
what
she's saying she's up to 43 million right now. 4.7 million was just from one guy.
Oh,
Yes, sir.
man,
She's
what kind of
making more money than some basketball players.
football and a couple other sports?
The whole offensive line, she's making more.
Well, you don't advertise to
what,
kids
what,
on
what, what
purpose.
kind of
There
what
are
kind of job does this dude have? They gonna talk about it?
Who, him?
No, the guy that she made all this.
Oh, no,
this
no, no, no. What's his name? The doggone Smith. I first seen it. He's the commentator. He does ESPN.
Okay. Oh,
I first saw it on him, and then that's when I picked up the story, and then I
yeah.
saw that this guy was doing as good or something like that. We'll get his name in a minute, but
Uh,
so yeah, so 43 million, 4.7 million just from one. Call him a John dude, whatever you want to call him. He's pretty lame. 4.7 million, and she's on the video.
yeah.
I just don't get it. But
are kids that see her OnlyFans. Are we really like if you go to a
now
high
she
school,
she
I
she's
guarantee
fine.
you
Don't
at
get me
least a
wrong,
few of the
but
guys
still.
are gonna know her name. What are we talking about?
That was never my intention. I don't want anyone thinking that about me. Am really I'm a Christian. Like I know it's like it seems odd.
If you are into religion and you're doing sex work, you're not into religion. Now, that's fine. If you're a Satanist, it's fine. To be fair, it does depend on their religion. But with Christianity, yeah, I don't know about that.
I was just trying to do social media. Always wanted to be like an influencer. You know, I look up to all these different influencers, and I was like, I want to do that just for shits and giggles, just to do something fun with my friends or whatever. And we bought the Spider-Man costumes because it was going around a whole bunch. I've seen a whole bunch of other girls influencers do it. I thought they were cute, and so her and I bought them. And the new Spider-Man movie came out, and we thought it'd be a good idea to just put them on, take pictures in them because it was Halloween time costume.
Mhm.
And so we posted the picture, whatever, which is not suitable for kids at all.
For sure. I don't know
We
what Spider-Man suit she had on.
I'm gonna just be real. I don't give a fuck about this. Anyway, this is the way I see it. If you do OnlyFans, you are absolutely advertising sexual content to children. I don't have a problem with people doing it. I don't have a problem with girls doing it. But like, I do have a problem with like girls doing it and saying it's not happening. And all I want, I know this sounds crazy, but I just think people should be honest about what they're doing. I think people should be forthcoming and genuine about what's happening and what actually is happening, rather than making things up and pretending like it's not. That's all.
Nice.
Right.
Have
So
some breaking news.
that's the first one. So what you think? You think she's lying?
That's a hard call, man. Because you find that one person that's really into that other one
Yeah.
person, and they rich and they bored. It could be a thing, man. Well, because I love you. You know what I'm saying? I love you too. I'm feeling my milky.
She's milking him. Oh man, she's milking him.
Oh man, what a job that she has, man. That's crazy. Gotta get on
You
that.
see, now this is your cousins. This
Why they gotta be my cousins, though?
all right, you know about the John what's his name?
Mm,
Neely. Um what is his name?
we
Uh
already started out with the BLM leader.
yeah,
We
yeah,
just
yeah.
already did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but Daniel Penny was found not guilty for
I saw
killing
that.
Neely. All right, so you want to get with your cousins on here and see what they got to say.
Man. Yeah, I already started up.
Shavonna Newsom, Chivona Newsome. I'm the co-founder of Black Lives Matter Greater New York.
Okay, I want you. Do you understand? I understand the movement, Black Lives Matter, but do you understand the organization?
I thought I did in the beginning. I thought they were paving paths and paving ways for people who are black
Right, right,
African Americans, to get in certain situations or make things a little bit easier
right.
for them. But I don't know. She just said a whole bunch of stuff I didn't understand in the beginning of it already.
So we can go down that rabbit hole later, but one of the things about the Black Lives Matter, I don't know about this person or the person standing behind her. We can go into their life, but recently in Florida and different places, they have found out they have taken the donations and bought mansions. I don't know if you know that.
I saw
All
that.
right, so Black Lives Matter to them because it's they're drifters and they're race baiters.
So,
The
so were they actually helping people, or were they actually just,
No, she got three homes. She had three homes for herself, over $1 million each home.
oh, it's like a GoFundMe type of thing.
What? What? Personal.
GoFundMe.
And see, that's the thing is, and I don't know if you know, and I like this organization, they call Wounded Warriors and different ones. But if you get into it, you see the CEOs, they set their own salaries and stuff like that. So when you send it, I'll put it this way. Red Cross, no, not Red Cross Blue Shield. What's the one with where you donate the blood at? What's that one called? You know what I'm talking about? We go to donate
I,
blood.
yeah, I do. What is it
But
on?
anyway, years ago, this is like 20 years ago, the CEO was making over $1 million a year. Okay, you donate
Ooh,
blood, they're not doing anything but taking the blood. And then the blood only lasts so long and they have to throw it away. But what CEO at a charity needs to be making $1 million? You see what I'm saying?
man.
And then, they a lot of times they got these private jets or they only fly private. So that's my thing is um they're getting boosted up while the person that you think you helping, and this is another one I like Elon Musk about. He'll go in and different ones will say, okay, how much overhead do you have? In other words, how many administrative people you got working here? You'll
Mhm.
find out. And same thing with education and different organizations. The overhead is padded when the workers um, are few and they getting paid pennies to the dollar. That's my only thing with these groups. It's not what you think. Black Lives Matter. Yeah, that's not. They're feeding off that. Just like that $4.7 million. They simping you out because you throwing the money in there and they living large. But
See, so I've always wondered, like, are a lot of these workers, are they more on a volunteer, or are they
a
on
lot of
the
them
more?
aren't volunteers. I can't
Okay,
think of the blood drive. I can't think of it. It's not blue.
isn't that American Red Cross?
Yeah, American Red Cross.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah. So if you go a deep dive into any of these charities, watch what the CEO is making. They're making bank. And same thing with churches. Don't get me wrong, same thing with churches. Especially black churches. Oh, don't get me started. Black
Amen.
churches, black churches, the bad boys like each year the pastor needs a new Rolls Royce or the pastor needs a new Mercedes Benz because he's a servant of God. Jesus Christ rode on a donkey. You know what I'm saying? But they
But
got
but here's but here's the thing with that. A lot of the people, I mean, they'd rather follow someone that looks like they doing something big than someone that pull up in a little hoopty.
but what the message coming across is. What's the message? What you know what I'm saying? If grandma sitting at church giving her social security to the pastor and she barely making it, she eating cat food and dog food to survive. I'm saying no on that. I'm throwing flag. I'm throwing a red flag.
I agree.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, it'll be one of those churches where I'm not giving no offering.
All right, let's see what your cousin had to say.
Hold on.
And I'm a devout Christian.
Devout
And in my
Christian.
Bible, thou shalt not kill.
Thou shalt
In
not
the
kill.
Torah, thou shalt not kill. In Buddhism, in Hinduism, thou shalt not kill a
That's
living
not
thing.
kill.
But
What about that
America
should not
has no
steal?
moral code. America has.
What was that?
What about that should not steal?
Thou shalt not burn down the city.
Really, keep that going.
No soul. Our bloods have paved the streets of this nation.
Okay. All right. I got to stop this for a second. I want you to see what she's saying. And I want you to see what they was doing. Can I find that doggone thing? That thing is funny. Well, it's funny to me. We don't know if you'll be. Oh, where's that at? I hope I can take it down. Doggone it. I think I might have took it down. Oh, shoot. Maybe I can get it right here.
What's this?
Oh, no, that's not it. But I don't know if you know, Neely, he was arrested. This is the person they have holding. Neely, he was arrested 44 times. I don't know if you know that.
I didn't know that.
Broke a 67-year-old lady's nose. You know what she did to get broken nose? She stepped off the subway. That's all she did. She stepped out of the subway and he punched her in the nose 44 times. He kidnapped a 15-year-old. 15-year-old. Why did he kidnap? You know what I'm saying? And they lift these type of people up. No, he shouldn't have been killed. However, it is a legal term. In other words, if I break in your house and then breaking in your house, you confront me, and because of my actions, I'm killed. The way the law is written, that responsibility falls on me. Now, unless you did something that's outrageous. But what I'm saying is, you know, your actions dictate consequences. So these people, these grifters, though, will feed on the emotions of African Americans and different people. They feed on racism, you know, 100 years ago, and they can't let it go. But
well, it makes it even weirder when it's like, you know, your cuz versus your cuz. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but they don't want to. They don't want to hear about that. They don't want to hear about that. Well, white man do it. That's where the money is. You see what I'm saying? And do you see my cursor? That where it says live New York City. That black guy right there. That's the dad. He abandoned his son 20 years ago, but guess what he's doing now?
What?
He's suing the white man that was involved in killing his son. He ain't been in the life of him, but he's gonna try to attempt to get the money off the debt.
Yeah, he chasing that chicken.
All right, let's continue with your cousin.
Since its inception, it was foolish of us to think that a black man would get justice in the system designed to keep him oppressed.
Now, listen to what she's saying, and do you know the story or what happened on the subway?
I'm not 100% sure on that.
Okay, so he comes on. You got people already on there, and I would not live in New York because you're defenseless. You're a victim waiting to happen. All right. He comes on there and he says, I'm going to kill somebody today. I'm paraphrasing. Kill somebody today. I don't care if I go to jail for life or some junk like that. Y'all going to feed me. They're saying y'all should have gave up him some money or some food so the boy can eat and he'll leave y'all alone. Be a victim. That's what they say in New York. Be a victim. All right. So he starts messing with this woman with the child was like 3 years old. She has to take her stroller to put it between her and him. She's cowering in the corner, you know what I'm saying, hiding behind the stroller, trying to protect herself and the child. Daniel Penny gets up and there's some more threats and stuff go on, and gets up, and they say, well, he acted too soon. When do you want the man to act? After he snatches the child? After he slaps or punches a woman? What's in the Constitution says that I got to get punched first?
See,
no.
That's that gray line of weirdness.
Yeah, but it's in New York. This
Yeah.
is in Florida. It's stand your ground. And see,
Mm-hmm.
it's not you want to be the aggressor, but when the aggressor foolishly, like he did, comes at you, take that junk somewhere else. Dude, back up, go away. Well, they said, well, he could have went to another car. Daniel Penny could have got up and left and went to another car. That's not the point. He was defending the helpless. That she couldn't defend herself holding a baby. But these drifters right here.
My heart bleeds for the Neely family. My heart bleeds for his father, who sat in front of me every single day and prayed for justice for his son.
He got justice.
There is no one coming to save black people, or else we wouldn't live in these ghettos, we wouldn't be in these prisons, and
She ain't in no ghetto.
She ain't no ghetto.
We would be further along than we are. We wouldn't be at the absolute.
I'm a black man. I I live among black folks. One of the main reasons why black folks are still the way they are?
What's that?
Without a father in the home. See, they don't tell you that. All right.
Well, that's a pretty high percentage too.
Yeah, most homes in African American communities are raised by a woman, like 70%. Do you know most teachers in high school or in school period, it's like 67% are female. A male is raised by a female, which they really can't raise a man. They can raise a child. They can't raise a man. So you got the whole influence is feminine. Feminine power, feminine intellect, feminine understanding of the world. So now you got that. Man checks you. You know what I'm saying? If I walk up on your face and I start talking trash, hey, you need to back up, dude. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when a woman walk up to your face, what society says, you got to cow down, you got to back up, no, never touch a woman, yada, yada, yada. They don't understand the difference between a woman and a lady. They lost that understanding. But what I'm saying here is she is putting all things, they see black folks as victims. They tell you, you shouldn't have to have an ID card to vote because you're too dumb to get an ID card. But you got to have an ID card to get the liquor. You got to have an ID card to get the food stamps. They don't tell the world that. They say we victims. And they get people like this to get out there and perpetuate those lies.
Bottom. So forgive me for being jaded and cynical, but once we saw those non-white jurors, we knew that this case was over.
Non-white jurors.
Non-white jurors. How could there not be an uproar that the same person who got off Kyle Rittenhouse, who got off O.J. Simpson, was used here?
Now, when O.J. Simpson got off after killing those two white people, she's a lie right there. Black folks rejoiced.
Yeah.
They jumped up and partied. White folks was upset because they knew he killed him. But Rittenhouse got off because one was a child molester that threatened to kill him, and he ended up killing. The other one was armed with a handgun that attacked him. See, they don't bring facts; they bring emotion. You know what I'm saying?
Correct.
They're not trying to win you over with, this is the facts. They take the moral high ground they think they own, and they thank God they lost the election, but we'll get into that a little bit later.
And shame on you, celebrities and politicians who claim not to be racist, because the racists spoke loud and clear. John McCain's daughter, she had something to say. I think she incited a riot for the right.
Oh, give me a break.
Phil Mickelson, he had something to say. Kid Rock donated $3 million.
Thank God.
And if you look on social media, if you look at the hatred spewed across against us, against black people, against a man who was sick.
She happens to be black. They're not spewing the hatred because she's black. She happens to be black, and she happens to be wrong. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
Because when there's a crisis of drugs in America, I'm sorry, it's only a crisis when it's a white person, an opioid crisis. Jordan was labeled a drug addict and labeled a crackhead. The only crime that Jordan nearly was guilty of was the color of his skin.
Come on.
That's a lie.
But luckily for Daniel Penny,
He was guilty of 44 crimes. I got to find that. We'll do maybe the next video. That bad boy was punching people. Like I said, he kidnapped a 15-year-old girl. And they just, New York with Alan Bragg and the bunch, they just, tap him on the hand, let him go out there. And people get tired of people getting in their face.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Alan Bragg's and the different ones, I couldn't live in New York. Like I said, thank God I don't have to. But the people that live there and like Chicago, I don't know if you know, Chicago is turning red. I don't know if you know that or not.
Well, I do know that. I've been watching that, following that.
Okay. Because of this, because of the mentality of this, racism, white bad, black good. You know what I'm saying? This simple mentality, they can do no wrong. And every black person is a victim.
Skin was not like
unless it's another black person.
Jordan's, because you honestly wouldn't have seen our face. The NYPD would have arrested him after 3 hours. The justice system would have found him guilty. And shame on this jury. Because to be real, they didn't even try. Once the lesser charge was removed, they came back an hour later and said it was deadlock. Less than an hour and 20 minutes later, they said not guilty. These wonderful white people, I hope they sell.
You see how racist that is?
That is.
The only thing she's keying on is their color of their skin. Which Martin Luther King Jr. said he hoped that it's about your character. Jordan nearly had no decent character.
I mean, it's almost showing like some racism from the BLM.
Absolutely.
Heavy.
Absolutely.
Dang.
They hate being Americans, but they won't go nobody else. And guess what? And we can get into another video one of these days. Africa don't like African Americans. I tell you that right now.
I've seen a couple of interviews where they're like, yeah, they can stay right over in the United States. Yeah,
because
Africa.
they have no what do you call it? No morals. They have no guardrails. You know what I'm saying? And we'll get into it later about the marriage rate and the divorce rate. It's ridiculous. I'll tell you this real quick. I got to give you this video. I saw it on, that's how I was trying to get the Twitter. Say, this black woman was divorcing her husband, all right? She is divorcing him, all right? She had a son, had a daughter from a prior relationship, had nothing to do with him, okay? She wanted him to sign the papers for child support for her child, not his. They was married 7 years. He wanted to stay married, but she was divorcing him. They didn't give the reason. But he refused to do to sign the paperwork for child support. She didn't understand. This is the mentality I'm trying to point out. The mentality of some of these people. They're drifters. They want to take you on every turn. She wanted to use her influence, this woman, over her husband, even after she's divorcing him. That's the way it is. It's amazing how and the way they think. Go ahead.
And it just keeps going on like generation to generation, it seems.
Yes. Instead of keeping the house together, he was willing to work with her. But she only wanted his money after she left him. I don't know if you know the state of Florida. Thank God for. I know they hate him. The Democrats hate him. Ron DeSantis. They done signed the law. It's like after 20 years, alimony stops. I don't know if you know. In some states, and it used to be in Florida, it can be a lifetime, bro. You paying alimony for her when she left you a lifetime, and then she laying up with her boyfriend. As long as she don't get married, the money flows.
Oh, that's pretty much like to keep the way you were living up to par when you guys were married.
Right.
Yeah,
but they put a stop to it in the state of Florida. I think it's 20 years. So in other words, instead of paying her 50 years, and she's laying up with her boyfriend and doing her thing, and you can't maintain your status, so you got to cut that and let that go. You know what I'm saying?
Celebrate their Christmas while the Neely family is praying and asking God for comfort. Goddamn them and goddamn America.
She loved God though.
Fuck you too.
That boy's stupid.
They're coming to America.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie.
All right, let's see another one. Are you still good with time?
Oh yeah.
All right, let's see. We already got her. Now this is the I think this is the election. This was funny.
Massive amount of cash sanctuary cities have soaked up on people who.
Now this is we're gonna go over. All right, so this is what made Chicago for a lot of black folks go red. Okay, so you think about this. All right, you and I, we're working for a living. All right, I'm getting nothing from the government. All right, you get nothing from the government, but they come across the border illegally. Some of them were getting
Card, all kinds of stuff.
card, free food, free living,
Yeah.
you know, a place to stay, and some of the nicest place. Some of them are staying in mansions because you know these empty houses and stuff. So Chicago is like there's veterans that fought in the wars living on the street. There's grandmothers and whatever need help, and we're sending this money to them, and also to Ukraine. And they Joe Biden a couple of days ago saying he's sending $1 billion to Africa. All right. I don't know if you know, in North Carolina, after that storm, Helene, there's still people living in tents.
Oh yeah, I got some friends that moved from there back to Florida just because they weren't pulling it together enough.
So think about it. They got $1 billion they can send to Africa and Ukraine, but they can't send number 750 up to per person up to North Carolina. Something wrong.
I was just watching a Elon Musk little interview.
Yeah.
He kind of brought that up. How they were trying to, all this money they're giving out there, he's going to start really, really watching and cutting back on all that stuff just because we're using the American dollars to fund other things and we're not seeing nothing from it.
And imagine, whether you're for the right or the left, imagine if Harris would have gotten in. She had no plans for any of this. She had no plans to stop what's going on, but to continue what was going on. It was even going to get worse, for my opinion. Also, we're close to World War III under Biden because of his weaknesses and because they wanted to take Ukraine away from Russia. But now Trump is not even in, and they're talking peace because they know he's crazy. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that bad boy might do anything. So they know Biden wouldn't do. He's going to do certain things that could lead to a third war, but they know that Trump, if he says stop, he means stop. So it's amazing what this election done. Let's take a look at this.
Who are not American citizens. Both Denver and New York City are spending hundreds of millions of U.S. So the citizens are paying all that money for people who are not citizens. And you won't believe where some of the money is going. New York City effectively paid $220 million to Pakistan in order to rent the Roosevelt Hotel as a full-time shelter for people who were not citizens. The taxpayer-funded hotel for illegal immigrants is owned by the Pakistani government, which means NYC taxpayers are effectively paying a foreign government to house illegals in our own country. We are now getting a...
So you see that? So 200 million, 220 million, what it was?
20 million.
Yeah, so that the other countries can own, or countries or government officials in other countries can own real estate in our country. And so by America putting those illegal aliens in those rooms, in those hotels, we have to pay them $220 million.
Mm.
What kind of money could have done to help Americans who's suffering today? And that was another thing about the election. I don't know how what you see, but my going out to get something to eat and to do stuff is very high. Gas is high and all this kind of stuff is high. But Harris and Biden want to tell us, "Oh, you're doing good. You just don't understand. You don't see it."
No, and I mean, that comes to a whole nother conversation. And I guess that can be another one on the tariffs and stuff, what that could do or what it can't do. But yeah, I do see a whole bunch of, I guess that would be considered inflation and stuff going on for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah. Well, see, with tariffs, and if you study him, is if he wrote a book years ago, The Art of the Deal. One thing that most media won't give him credit for is he know how to make a deal. Now he's a deal maker for the United States. One of the things, the craziest things I've heard him when he negotiating, he'll come up to you and say, "Hey, Kris, your breath smell bad. Anybody ever tell you that?
Mm-hmm.
What would that do to you? Now you negotiating a deal with Donald Trump, and he tells you your breath stink. What would that do to you?
Mm-hmm. Taps you down a little bit.
It puts you on guard, throws you off. You had no idea. This is coming out from left field. So he said
Mm-hmm.
he take them off their game just by insulting them, but he does it in a way that is like, hey, you might want to take a few minutes before we get started, and you go freshen up. So you go off your game while he's still working the room. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's working the room with the other negotiators. You come back, you off the game. All right. He's in your head already. That's the place to be. You're
Mm-hmm.
taking up space. So you come back and you're off your game, and then he starts with, say, the tariffs. The tariffs are a threat. It's not like he's gonna, and this is the news media, blanket everything. Everything's a tariff. No, what he's saying is China. And if you look into economics and you look into imports and exports, you'll see they have a deficit. Why? Because we buy iPhones, we buy Androids, computers that are designed in America or somewhere else, but built in China and shipped here. All right.
Mm-hmm.
And they making the wages they're making is not like what we're making. That's why they ship it to China, because say minimum wage is what, $15 in most places. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you're talking less than that in China, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's below, and that can be a video and some information that we can look up. But so now you get it cheap coming in here, and then they refuse to buy from us. You know what I'm saying? They put a
Yeah.
tariff. China has a tariff on us. The European Union has a tariff on us. Russia has a tariff on it. They won't tell you the other side. That's biased newscasters. You see what I'm saying? They have a bias against
Yeah.
Trump. But Trump is saying,
So,
okay, go ahead.
oh no, because I was just thinking. So if that is the deal, right? You don't think that maybe if the tariffs are coming back in from the other areas, say coming through Canada, this, that, and the other, if we put those, the extra percentages on the extra couple of dollars on the 50 cents or whatever that is, that's gonna jack the prices up here in the States?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, if Trump says, okay, you need to lower the prices or remove the tariff on this item coming from the United States,
Got you. Yep.
and the China says no, then he says, okay, I'm gonna
Okay.
jack your price up coming
Mhm.
into the United States.
Makes
Then
sense.
you negotiate. You say, okay,
Mhm.
all right, Trump, all right, I drop it 10% if you don't do this. You know what I'm saying? So he told Canada, okay, there's a lot of stuff that coming into America, y'all playing games. So I'm gonna jack it up 25%. It's so
Mhm.
frightened the Canadian Prime Minister, he flew down to Mar-a-Lago. Who you
They had
see
a
fly,
dinner.
huh?
They had a dinner.
They had a dinner. Who do you
Yep.
see flying in to meet Biden to negotiate? Biden
Right.
is not even he's not even concerned about it.
Mhm.
He's not a businessman.
Yep.
His whole life, his whole 50 years has been in the government. He's been on the government payroll, and they've been taken from the people. They don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to run a country. So that's what I'm saying. The tariffs are a tool. They're not the end. They're just how you get to the end. I want to make America have a better economy. I got to lower the prices, but I got to threaten to jack up their prices if they don't meet me here. Just like China is now building car plants in Mexico. So he said, "Look, so we got a tariff on China, right? So they try to get around it because of NAFTA and the other agreements we have with Mexico, and they start to build in Mexico so Mexico can ship into America." He said, "No, I see what you're doing. I'm gonna put a tariff on that." And also, okay, so we got I don't know if you know, we got between 11 million to 21 million illegal aliens came in or have been in America. All right.
I didn't know it was that many.
Yes, 11 million to 21. Depends who you ask. All right. Trump says, stop them at the border or I'm going to put a 25% on you. Guess what happened? There was a phone call between her and the president of Mexico and President-elect Trump. He gets things, he threatened you. I said, it's like, I'm going to punch you in the face. And he's like, yo, dude, why you going to punch me? The negotiation starts by the threat. He gets their attention. He tells Ukraine and he tells Russia, y'all need to stop fighting. So he tells Ukraine, hey, I might cut off the aid. We already done sent them $850 billion.
Crazy.
Okay. When is this on the end? Huh? When? How long can we sustain this? We can't. So what I'm saying is he's using this negotiation to put an end to the nonsense. And he tells Russia, if you do this, maybe I'll lift the sanctions on you for that. Because we got sanctions on Russia and Russia is still surviving. They thought the Bidens and the different ones, I call them the deep state, they thought they could hurt Russia, bring Russia to her knees. Russia, China, different ones came together and they're thriving. So that's what I'm saying. Don't believe every good thing or bad thing about Trump in the media. You have to do research on it. Now here come your boy, your cousin, Al Sharpton.
Oh, here we go.
Average. All right, before we start the video, this is just going to be your classic mega meltdown compilation of your favorite TV Democrats getting super upset that Donald Trump won the 2024 presidential elections. Again, sit down, relax. You're going to hear some insane things, some people crying, some people coping. Enjoy.
The rest was not great. Let's be honest, it was a terrible night last night. It was a terrible night for women, for children, for the hundreds of thousands of hardworking immigrants who make this country go, for healthcare, for our climate.
Now, what do you think he's saying right there?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Think about it. Healthcare. Is he talking about healthcare or is he talking about abortion?
Yeah.
I'm thinking he's talking abortion because that's a code word they use, healthcare. That's what they
I've been noticing it more recently when these laws have been going out about these abortions and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. See, the whole thing about it is George Orwell, the book 1984. If you read that or you study it, you learn. If I want to start a war, I say I am trying to make peace. I tell you the opposite of what I'm going to do. If I say health care, I'm saying I want to kill the baby. You feel me? Because it got to be, the words have meaning and they shape your response. So him saying migrants instead of illegal immigrants is word game.
I see.
They play word games. And also going back when he, a few seconds ago when he had the 312 and whatever she got, all the time those who was running the Harris campaign, I don't know if you have been following that. They knew she couldn't win. They actually had the numbers. They knew she couldn't win, but they told everybody up to the last minute, and people lost their minds because they was like, "How is he? He won the election within 5 hours." But they didn't release it until about 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. You feel me?
Yo, I do. It's a tricky one too, man. Because it's, it's the stuff they let you see, right?
Yes.
Like,
yes. And it's mostly, like I said, you can't trust any media. You have to do the research yourself. But the mainstream, CBS, ABC, PBS, MS, NBC is the worst. But I'm saying is, if you listen to these people, you have to know the code words they're using. They're not speaking the truth. They're speaking through codes.
For science, for journalism, for justice, for free speech, it was a terrible night for poor people, for the middle class, for seniors who rely on Social Security, for our allies in Ukraine, for NATO, for the truth.
All right, so he mentioned Ukraine and NATO. Do you know what Trump made NATO do when he in his first term?
I didn't. I don't think.
Right. All right. So NATO is made up by 30-some countries. All right. We're sitting over here pretty. I don't know if you know, but we pay the majority of the defense for Europe.
I didn't know that either.
Yes. It is ridiculous. We pay like 68% of the budget of NATO when we're not even there. We're protecting them, and they look down their noses at us. So Trump came in. All right, what is based on your country's GDP? You pay 2%, or you fund 2% up for your military. You see what I'm saying? So if your country make $100 million a year, whatever, you take 2% of that and you put it in your own defense. They wasn't even meeting that 2% for their own region. Trump came in and says, you either start paying your bills or I'm taking us out of NATO. They lost their mind because they're afraid of Russia. Don't get me wrong. They're afraid of each other. They're afraid of Germany. They're afraid of Poland now. Why? Because they're military powers. France doesn't like this country. You see what I'm saying? If United States was to pull out of NATO, forget Russia, within 5 to 10 years, Europe would be at war among themselves. You see what I'm saying? Remember, the first two wars was within, and not even going back to the 1800s. And you see the wars about conquest and they always gonna come up with some reason to invade the other area. That's what I'm saying. So now, World War I, World War II, Germany, but that was in Europe. It had nothing to do with Russia. Germany going to attack Russia and everybody else. But you see, that's what I'm trying to say. He's not bringing out truth. Again, just like the BLM, they work on emotions, not with facts.
I can see that working.
And democracy and decency. And it was a terrible night for everyone who voted against him. And guess what? It was a bad night for everyone who voted for him, too. You just don't realize it yet.
Cannot ignore there is still a lot of racism and gender bias in this country. And I think
I don't know if do you know how much Harris paid him?
Oh, it was some crazy. Wait. Because I was hearing that this dude right here can get bought on to pretty much get on anybody's side.
Yeah, exactly. So she didn't pay him directly, but his charity, which was $550,000, and then he endorsed her, and he did a softball interview with her. So Trump, when he went on Rogan, there was no money exchange. Rogan just asked him to come on. First, Rogan wasn't even going to ask him, but negotiating started, it was getting down, and they was the ones on the left were attacking Rogan, the ones on the left were attacking Trump. It's like, okay, if someone start beating up on me and start beating up on you, we don't say, okay, let us come together and beat him up. So Rogan and Trump came together, and boom, Rogan even offered to her to come on his show, but she can't handle an interview, especially for 3 hours.
Nah, I ain't having it.
Yeah, she's all about slogans. So going back to him, yeah, about $550,000 to get him on board, and we'll get into the rest of the money later.
Us to ignore that and not try to bring that front and center so we can heal that would mean that we would end up in the same place. Kamala Harris is a woman of color in an interracial marriage.
So we didn't vote for her. At least I didn't vote for her because she was black and she's a woman. That's what he's saying. Not because she had the word salads, not because she's for things that I don't agree on, not because she lied through her teeth. You know what I'm saying? It's because she's black and she's a woman. People didn't vote for her.
This seems like to be the thing, though. It's like, I mean, just like the past to BLM, it's like they keep using these racial, more like racial and feelings. It's nothing to do with what's in front of you.
Nothing to do with the facts. With this mentality, they want you to hate that. And I can get some more videos later. We can go into later on. They want you to hate the white man. They want you to look down on anybody white, and lift up the black. They are the most racist people you can get around, but it's all a lie. Because before the election, Trump was Hitler, but then they started trying to talk to him after he got elected. Why? Because they was told a lie, and they believed the lie that she couldn't lose, just like Hillary. Hillary couldn't lose, and then she lost. You see what I'm saying? But they work on your feelings and emotions, but not with facts. So,
as a woman to be the head of state, that is something a lot of Americans are not ready to deal with.
Pointing back to 2016, sexism, I'm going to say also racism and bias had to have played a role.
I'm surprised at the results, but I'm not surprised. As a woman of color, I was so hopeful that a mixed race woman married to a Jewish guy could be elected president of this country. And I think that it had nothing to do with policy. I think this was a referendum.
You see what she said? It's about race. It's nothing to do with policy. That's all they project a lot. In other words, if I don't like something about you, I'm going to say it, but I'm going to turn it on you. And I'm actually doing it. So they're projecting.
It's easy to go down that rabbit hole with just that, especially if the information they're supplying everybody says the same thing, right? Like you're a young person. You're going into this is all you're seeing. You're just growing up like this, pretty much.
Yeah, you got to get out of the bubble. You have to. That's why you have to meet people of the other side. It's like if going into say I go into a Latin area. A Latino area in Chicago. I'm like, ooh, you hear these rumors. Okay, they'll stab you, they'll shoot you. Now, if you mess with the gang level, New York, you move into the black area. Oh, they'll rob you, they'll shoot you. So there is a crime level, especially when there's lawlessness going on, and we'll get into that later. Another video. They're promoting lawlessness. I'm talking about the government in these cities. They're promoting it by their laws and by their way. By letting Jordan Neely off 44 times led to his death. Do you know Charleston West?
Oh yeah.
All right. That bad boy said something really true. He said, "Prison saved my life." He said, and the reason is it requires discipline. He said, you mess with somebody's stuff in prison, you don't get punched in the face. So it taught me not to mess with people's stuff. Simple as that. So these people out here that commit crime, they never get punched in the mouth. They never learn the lesson.
Yeah, I agree.
Referendum of cultural resentment in this country.
Let me state the obvious. One person is a woman, and this now makes Trump 2 for 2 in beating out a woman to become our president. Let me just ask this simply. It could be tough to answer. Is this country not ready for a woman to become president?
If she were a 6'4" white man from our...
All about her race, nothing else. Not her politics. All about her race.
Keep on doing
Arkansas or from, Florida, and she ran a good middle-of-the-road campaign talking about reaching out. Do you think she would be losing by that much? If she could like chew tobacco and carry a shotgun and talk about football and be a guy's guy, I mean, you tell me.
There are levels of sexism and racism that clearly a lot of people in this country are willing to tolerate.
Let's be honest about this, okay? Let's be absolutely blunt about it. There were appeals to racism in this campaign, and there is racial bias in this country, and there is sexism in this country. And anybody who thinks that that did not in any way impact on the outcome of this race is wrong. I'm not saying that was the main reason that Kamala Harris lost and Donald Trump won it.
I think that we've got to be honest. Among Hispanic men and black men, there's a lot of misogyny. And I think
now he's saying not only the white people, but black men like myself. I'm racist and I'm sexist against her. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's all on race and gender with these people. It's called, I don't know if you heard of it, it's called identity politics. Your identity matters more than anything else to these people because that's how they make their money. If they can get you upset, you'll send in the dollars. Because if it's just like with these fake and false prophets and teachers, you send them in the money, then they live the lifestyle that they want to live. And then they also, they shake down businesses, Coca-Cola, Clorox, or whatever. They go to these companies and say, if you don't support me, you know what I'm saying, you must be a racist. And then I'm going to get on TV and say you're a racist. So just like the mafia, they give them money so they don't get shaken down in the public.
I think that we've got to deal with the reality that he appealed to this whole false macho thing that some black men and some Latino men went for.
How would you explain that to a 14-year-old today? How would you explain this election?
I'll try not to think about my boys, because...
Yes.
He's about to cry.
Yes.
One thing with, I don't know how much time you got, but I want to go over just a little bit. It's when you're dealing with this, I don't know if you know, this is the same thing with the left, with the Democrats. They try to take masculinity and sissify it. I don't know if you noticed that.
I have noticed a lot of changes.
Yeah. So they got to the point, if you're a man's man, you want to go out in the woods, you want to, do this, do that. No, they want you to share your emotions, share your feelings. And the only thing you do, once you do that, they're going to come back later and say, oh, he's a wimp. You know what I'm saying? They'll turn around. Sometimes, hey, sometimes it's all right to share your feelings to a point, but not like they want you to show your feelings. They want to womanize you. And you see that you see that on the men on the left.
Interesting.
But I think you would say that, amazing things have been done through the American political system. People have been given freedoms that they were denied, and glorious opportunities in this country that you can't get anywhere else. And then awful things have happened in the American system. And you have to fight to make sure that you're doing the good part and not the bad part. They can get on basically one of two buses that are going to take them to a destination they think is meaningful. And you get on the bus, and there are a whole bunch of the people on the bus who just want to be seen and have opportunity in American life. And then there are other people on the bus engaged in the same journey who are there absolutely just for themselves, to get power, to give themselves just more riches and more control over things. And
we have now let misinformation become the accepted information. It has washed over us. Elon Musk, he buys Twitter, and then he uses it almost exclusively to be a propaganda machine, and we've accepted it. We've accepted a narrative that despite an actually great economic recovery, the vibes don't feel good. So we want to reject it and get something else. And the person we are now betting on to change all of it is Donald Trump, a man who did two almost impossible things. He won the American presidency twice, and he drove a casino into the ground. What will the future hold now that America has just decided that we're going to F around and find out?
Now, you see how she twisted that?
Oh, yeah. She had that.
The thing is, what they don't bring out under Trump, the economy was great. Trump personality, I vote for policy, not for personality. Because, you know, you're not going to find anyone that you agree with all the time. It's just humanly impossible. But his policies, I agree with, because less government means more things I can do, less thing they can do to me. When what she's talking about, I don't know if you get into it, she and others actually want to shut down social media so you cannot express your feelings against COVID or against transgender for children. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They want to stop you for having a conversation in America. They have done that in Europe. I don't know if you know. If you send a tweet in Europe that calls somebody fat, or say, you know, there's only two genders, cops will show up to your door. They will arrest you.
Oh, dang, they doing the next level.
Yeah. Like I said, as we get along, you know, we can go with different videos, but yeah, it's amazing how they want us to be more like Europe in that sense.
My takeaway is that the system works.
Do you know too much? Do you know anything about The View?
Yeah, I watched it here and there a while back. I haven't done anything up to date.
All right. The one here, this is Sunny listening. She is so liberal. And this one here, she's Hispanic. She is ridiculous. And I forgot her name. Her name will come up in a minute. And then you got Whoopi with that beautiful hairstyle she got.
I see it.
We live in a democracy. People spoke. This is what people wanted. I vehemently disagree with the decision that Americans made, but I feel very, very hopeful that we have a democratic system in this country. We should value it.
Joy Behar.
We should protest if the situation arises that we need to protest, which I'm sure it will.
I'm profoundly disturbed. I think if you look at the New York Times this morning, the headline was America makes a perilous choice. I think that in 2016, we didn't know what we would get from a Trump administration, but we know now. And we know now that he will have almost unfettered power. And so I worry, not about myself, actually. I don't worry about my station in life. I worry about the working class. I worry about my mother, a retired teacher. I worry about our elderly and their Social Security and their Medicare. I worry about my children's future, especially my daughter, who now has less rights than I have.
You feel what you feel.
Question. She says that her daughter has less rights than she has. Do you know what she's talking about?
I don't with that.
She's talking about abortion rights. You still can have abortion in America. Now, what Trump talked about and what some want, it was a former Virginia governor that said abortion could take place after the child was born.
Yeah, I remember that coming up.
Right. So it's like that's what Trump is fighting against. You know, if you don't want the baby once it's born, give it up for adoption. Don't murder it. But they don't see it. It's still her body, her right. No, it's not. it was born. And so they want to have, I don't know if you ever heard the term partial birth abortion.
Oh, yeah.
All right, the head comes out, they kill the baby, and then let it go back in, then pull it back out so it clears the womb. That's they have no limit until what they can kill and who they can kill. And we'll get later on one of these days, we can get into euthanasia. Euthanasia is, all right, I'm 80 years old, y'all tired of having me around, so y'all pull the plug. You know, it's costing too much money. You know, just let him go. And they do that in Canada, in Europe. So that's the kind of thing that conservative Republicans are fighting against, but they don't bring that out. You know, these news agencies don't bring them out because it's distasteful.
Everyone has different emotions. Some people got what they wanted. A lot of people didn't. And you feel anything that comes up, and then you turn around and you say, let's look at the tapes. Let's see what we did. Let's see how we continue to fight for the people that we care about. And you take one step in front of the other. And so here we are today, and I still feel that optimistic because I feel arm in arm with so many people who agree with me. And I'm not going to stop marching.
Tens of millions of Americans, our friends, our neighbors, our family members, voted for Donald Trump. We disagree with him. I know we all do at this table, but they are good, decent people who are patriots and love this country.
And can always say, oh, she should have done this, she should have done this, She did what she did. She was everywhere. She talked to everybody. And people didn't come out. I don't know why, and it doesn't even matter. He's now the president. I'm still not going to say his name.
It is a moment to listen to the voters. And this, I have to say, I've always thought he could win. I thought in the final stretch she might eke it out. I didn't expect it to be this resounding, and I think there are some lessons from it. I think we forget about rural America. I think the working class feels left behind. They feel like the powerful, the elite only care about them and their power. And he spoke to them. We may not have liked his words, but they turned out for him.
So, you still there?
Yep.
Yeah, so everybody at that table, and she's supposed to be, I think she's the only conservative, and even she is, you know, on their side, on these Democrat side. So it's amazing how they view it. The American people, they actually look down on American people. They do not think they voted smart. They think they know better what's better for America than the American people as a whole.
Yeah, I see that.
I think I'm okay.
Tell me what you're thinking.
Well, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of her. I don't think people realize
You see your cousin dancing?
how hard it is to get to where she was. For her to be selected as vice president after what I think she would tell you was a very disappointing presidential race, where I think she kind of lost her footing and was listening too much to consultants, frankly, and it didn't really exist.
They're so emotional. Yes. And this black female, you know who she is?
I don't know, guys.
That's Joy Reid. This woman is crazy. She is rabbit crazy.
Dude, who she was. And then to be vice president and to step into the most difficult situation in the world, where she had to be completely loyal to Joe Biden and respectful of the fact that he had chosen her, but yet maneuver in a situation. I mean, such political skill. It is just inspiring. People who don't understand what she had to do to get to this moment. And so I'm just very proud of her.
But in the end, you know,
There
if
she
they
go.
didn't make their numbers and essentially exceed the numbers that Joe Biden had in the suburbs, and I think we have to be blunt about why. Black voters came through for Kamala Harris. White women voters did not.
All about
is
the
what
color.
it appears happened in that state, is that if you can't flip enough white women, and we've talked about this on this set numerous times, but it's a state where women lost their reproductive rights, where there was a very heavy push to get women to focus on not putting in place, re-electing, putting back into the White House the person who was responsible for taking those rights away and restoring them. But that message obviously was not enough to get enough white women to vote for Vice President Harris, a fellow woman. This will be the second opportunity that white women in this country have to change the way that they interact with the
white women failed.
Patriarchy.
I mean, a lot of folks are wondering, why would Latinos vote for Donald Trump if that means he might deport Abuela? He might deport members of their household. As you know, lots of Latino families in this country are of mixed status. And, you know, a lot of folks are asking on the Democratic side, why would they do this to themselves? Do you want to see mass deportations?
So the first thing that we need to do is close the border. More than 10 million people illegal. You
see what he's doing there?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the guy who's talking now is Hispanic. So he's trying to play it. I don't know how much time you got, but just let me know.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of to the point, but what I mean, after this little deep point, I want to talk about the chubby purple suit man.
Oh yeah. We can move to that. So so that's the thing. They thought, and especially Democrats, they thought that blacks and Latino would vote by their race for abortion. White women would vote for their gender. You see what I'm saying? So the left is all about identity. They think they can put you into a little, barrel that if you're black, I got you. I put this black person up there. Don't matter if she can speak well, she got good policies or not. You're gonna vote for her. So because you're Democratic, and I got you, and we call it the plantation. They got you on this plantation called the Democratic Party, and whatever we do, you're gonna do it because we're gonna tell you to. They brought out Barack Obama, who got on black men for not coming out like he should have. We should have. Biden said even 2020, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. So it's always about your color and your gender. All right, let's go to Big Boy.
What is this, bro? Rapper Dave Blunt performs in front of a crowd while connected to an oxygen tank. Blunt lashed out at Snoop Dogg while on stage, who recently told him, "Put down the chicken wings and tartar chips, nephew. That chair gonna break soon."
Hey, Chicago, do y'all have a problem with me sitting down on this stage? Exactly. Get the fuck off my dick, Snoop Dogg. But my ex, she did me dirty once I got.
Dude, he is ridiculously. That's just too big.
That's crazy. I was watching a couple interviews with him, and he was saying before this show that he would get put into the hospital to get to get pictures from chicks that feel bad about him and stuff. He was sending pictures that he was in the hospital to get those little pictures. He's just too much, man.
Well, think about it. So he can't wipe his own tail. I guarantee you. You see what I'm saying? He can't reach around that far. This leg, the body, all this, man. This.
I can't believe he was that. He telling me he likes him.
What's that?
He telling me she's just into him. That's his girl.
You see what I'm saying? Money. Somebody got to wipe his tail. And look, look, there's too much out there right now to help you in 2024 lose. He got to be close to what, 1,500 pounds, 1,000?
Oh, easy.
This is actually super sad because like y'all might not notice this. Like he couldn't even hold his breath up long enough to sing his own song. Then like this girl came on whenever she realized that. You know, Snoop Dogg wants to call him a fat ass. Snoop Dogg's right. Snoop Dogg at the end of the day, he's like 50, 60 years old, still going around doing shit all the time. This dude's never going to be 50, 60 years old. He's losing fucking weight. He couldn't even sing his song, even sitting down. Okay, he's 23 years old.
23. Woo!
But I mean, to be honest, they made you know, a little position for themselves. I mean, a little more overweight to come out here and perform and stuff. This is a little bit too far.
Well, think about it. What they're just simply saying is, it will be lucky if he makes 33. At what point is the money worth your life?
Yeah, and then the problem on top of that is, you know, why Snoop Dogg, I mean, why he came after Snoop Dogg heavy. It wasn't just because they put the wings down. At first, he said put the cup down first. He said, oh, better yet, stop messing with those chicken wings. But he told him to put the cup down because he's on that lean. He's still doing that lean.
What lean?
The purple, was it promethazine?
Okay, I don't know that one.
Oh yeah. You don't know, like, what was going around the rappers, everyone was drinking. The nickname is called lean. And it's just pretty much a drug that you get prescribed in a liquid form, and most of all rappers were getting hooked on it. Now,
I didn't know that. I didn't know that one.
Oh yeah, it's called lean, a purple drink.
Okay. I knew there was a purple drink, but from other videos that I've seen, but I didn't know it was called lean. At least I haven't heard it.
Yeah, Lil Wayne, a lot of these people got real hooked on it, almost got, almost bedridden death.
Man.
So it's funny that his butt is on it, and he already probably got asshole issues. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. He can't breathe. He's 23 years old. I can run circle. He's on a scooter at 23. What will he be at 29 if he's still here?
That is insane.
Liver, kidneys, heart. Dude, you can stroke out. You can have a heart attack with all that weight.
Just like I said, even that. So the lean is like, what is it? Codeine and promethazine. Make Sprite. They put candy in it to give it the color and stuff.
Yeah.
Even the effects on that to your body.
Yeah. And because Snoop ain't got nothing to be talking about getting also.
I know, man.
Japanese Purek to David Blunt's. Where does the fat end and the balls begin?
Oh my god,
that was funny. Go ahead, no homie. I mean, big homie.
Hey, look at Snoop. I love it.
Oh, let's see. Where's another one? Let's see. All right.
Then just walked up to me and she said,
I said that is Donald Trump's wall to keep out women.
What is he keeping?
All right. Just let me know. You send me a text, whatever you want. You say, hey, time to go. But this is people acting crazy about Donald Trump. I can't help it. It's funny. The amount of crying, they're shaving off their heads now.
I see that.
You know what I'm saying? They're losing their mind, saying they're not going to have sex for the next 4 years, which is great because we don't need no children from them.
Keeping women out of.
The way he talks about women, the way he downgrades women.
What's an example of that?
She has no idea.
When he just the way he treats his wife, the way he treats other women.
How does he treat his wife?
Watch the video of the inauguration.
And what did he do?
He walked away from her. He could care less about her.
Oh my God, we need to impeach him now.
Yes, we do.
Like yesterday, he walked away from her at the inauguration.
Well, yeah. As soon as the car pulled up, he stomped ahead and left her to fend for herself.
Oh my God.
And then, it's just, if you watched him with the Queen, he's marching right ahead of her. It's just his disdain for women. How about the fact that he was on record?
Do you understand she's a voter? You still there?
Saying that he can walk right up to a woman and grab her. I mean, that's pretty bad.
Well, I think what he was talking about is the type of woman who will allow a rich and powerful man to do anything that he wants, and that type of woman does exist.
I have no answer to that kind of comment that you just made.
They're called star fuckers.
This woman is slower than a parked car. I swear, these people don't have brain themselves. This is the perfect example of the blind leading the blind. Liberals like her are so stupid that when an intruder broke into her house, she ran downstairs and dialed 911 on the microwave and couldn't find the call button.
And as of today, there is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this century. What? But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
Mrs. Harris literally has 2 brain cells and they're both fighting for 3rd place. We appreciate our military, even though Kamala doesn't.
But wait, there's more.
I'm Kamala Harris, and today we are at a local grocery store in the heart of Brooklyn, New York, collecting food for a local food drive in Bensonhurst. I love the music. This is America. Oh my God, cream of wheat. I love cream of wheat. You remember this as a kid? When your mom would make it when you fix your tummy and stuff? $8. Under Donald Trump's rule, that's gonna be 10. Under mine, it'll be less. Okay, what do we need? Oh my God. Carrot pudding. Do you remember that as a kid? That's home. That's childhood. That's the heart of America. Oh, oats. Oh, Dougie Doug loves oats. He has a bit of an IBS problem.
All right. I lost my partner on this reaction video. I hope you enjoyed it so far. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe. We're going to be trying to do this at least 1 or 2 times a week as we get along. We get better at it. Let us know what you think. Hope to hear from you soon.